My entire life, I wanted to be an artist and was always certain that I would be an artist. And at the time when I was younger, I didn't know what medium I'd be doing. And then as we age, life gets in the way. And with the downturn in the economy, I lost my employment. People would ask, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm sculpting full time. And I didn't give myself a plan B. Plan A only. If it didn't work, I had nothing to fall back on. Traditionally, we would say that life ends when we cease eating, drinking, breathing, growing. So when I choose to take down a tree, the life that it had, yes, is over, but it can become so much more. Sometimes that's firewood, but often it could be something tremendous in the form of a sculpture. The cedar tree, you take it down and it makes this sort of quiet, sort of roaring noise as it rushes through the air and this tremendous thump as it hits the ground. And then everything is completely silent. And I can't help but feel that it's now my responsibility to take it to the next step, to assist taking it to the next step in its life. And once I feel that it's ready to be sculpted and carved, then I think about where it was and what was I feeling when it came down, and what is it going to be next. For myself, I can usually see the finished form, for the most part, in my head before I even start doing any carving. But what its potential is, I think is already there, especially a sculpture that the tree remembers, right? The animals that walked around it, the rain that fell on it, the birds that landed on it or nested in it. The memories, I think, are there. And when I've walked through the woods and listened to the same things and felt the same things on my skin, the innate connection is there. I'm not that different. As much as I really want to sort of hop forward and really get some openings in there and thin some areas, I have to wait. So patience. And then the sculpture is turned around, you look at it from different views, and even the parts you can't see, I think, are still important, right? Because let's hope at some point down the road, someone's looking at it much closer. It's like 100 years, right? They're thinking history book. And they're looking and they can see the detail that went into the parts, and the artist knew nobody was going to see, but still put the care and attention in. At some point, you have to step back and see that's good enough. I mean, it's still handmade, so some tool marks should be there. Something that shows that a person has been there and touched it needs to be left behind. So you sort of come to peace with that, and you have this sort of post-sculpture depression, where you've worked so hard and been so intimately connected with this form, and then when it's done, there is this real sort of sense of loss. I really need to give a moment, both for celebration and to say goodbye to the tree and to the parts of myself that no longer are there. It's not bronze, it's not concrete, it's not contemporary. It's a very old, sort of poor man's medium. So is it fine art? Can it be fine art? Let other people label me. I'm completely okay with being a craftsman. I refuse to let a label own me, and I refuse to let a label determine what I make and what I choose to make it with. and I refuse to let it change fundamentally who I am and the connection that I can't help but feel to nature and to wood. So is wood fine art? Is it fine craft? I say it doesn't matter.